Welcome to episode 56 of Finding Your Hidden Superpower Autism, Asperger's, and those of us who are neurodiverse. So, today I want to talk about an article that came out in Psychology Today. It's an article by Nicholas Balasezis. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he's a PhD, and I'm going to give you the link for the article. But the name of the article is Using Mental Health as an Excuse for Bad Behavior. My bad mental health made me do it. So, unfortunately, some of the leading people on YouTube are using this excuse for their autism. I understand because I'm autistic myself, but when your bad behavior is causing a lot of problems and you're asking others to change for you because you have mental problems, you have this personality dysfunction, you have this you're neurodiverse, and the neurotypical people are picking on you. That's part of life. We've been picked on since the age of 4 or 5, when it really brings itself to the head, and it's not fair. But the bottom line is, if we want to get along with the regular public, if we want to get a good job and live a good life and be happy, it's a give and take. It's not always people are going to change for you. That's just your ego talking. So, bottom line is, I've experienced this myself. The job I had before, I got fired because they didn't come out and say it, but they were picking up on some uh, things. There was somebody in the place I was working at that was autistic, and they were having problems with that person. I was still on my 90-day probation. So instead of having two autistic people that they had to deal with, they got rid of the one that they could get rid of easily, and that was me. And so they just were able to let me go, no qualms, no excuses. They just said it's not working out. And that sucks. So I understand. But the bottom line is that I wasn't using my disability as an excuse. I was just asking for some simple things that were common sense that a lot of people were too afraid to ask for. And since I asked for those things, and I was asking for some things to help me do better at my job. They didn't want to give it to me because they just figured I would be a problem. So if you're using your disability, your autism, your um, neurodiversity, your Asperger's, as an excuse for bad behavior, in which I wasn't doing bad behavior, I was just uh, having difficulty getting to know the system with my previous job. But if you're using this to be able to do bad behavior, you're going to have a hard time with your life. And excuses, excuses, excuses. You won't be able to live the ultimate life that you want to. You'll be always blaming others for all of your problems, and it'll just be all around bad. So, his key points is saying using mental health can shield an individual from taking responsibility for their actions, behaviors, or moods. Blaming others for affecting your mental health can be a form of physiological avoidance. Taking responsibility for your mental health means looking beyond immediate distressing situations to broader psychological origins and roots. So the bottom line is yes, we think differently. Yes, it is more difficult for us to deal with our stuff. But if all you're trying to do is be a victim, you're going to have a hard time in life because there's a lot of victims out there, rightly and wrongly. The United States has turned into a victim society, and there's a lot of miserable people out there. And if you're one of them, you got to figure out how to find out what your strengths are and work towards them. So, and this is why I started um, these podcasts and these videos. So the bottom line is I want to help out, but you need to help yourself out. You need to figure out what you need to do to communicate your challenges better so people can help you. And if people don't want to help you, well, you may need to look for another job, or you may need to look for another relationship, romantic or friendship, or you may need help with school and you may need to hire tutors. So, bottom line is life is tough. And I've met a lot of people that have lived tougher lives than me. And so, therefore, my excuses are not valid as much as I thought they were, because the bottom line is we all got to get along. And if you want to be successful, you got to get people to like you. And you can't manipulate people into liking you. So you have to figure out what their needs are, and you got to try and fulfill those. And then if they have a bad day, you stay out of the way or you try and support them. You don't want to add on to their bad days. So you need to be the bigger person. You need to be more emotionally intelligent than you have been in the past. And you also need to become more emotionally intelligent than other people, because the other people may not understand your problems, because your challenges are going to be different than theirs. So something that's common sense to them may not be common sense to you. And you have to realize that, and you have to communicate that in the best way possible. And you are going to have to work a lot harder than other people do. And so, with that, uh, be careful about toxic workplaces. If something is, uh, if you're being bullied, uh, there's not a lot you can do, because a lot of the times, you know, HR, you can always work towards having a solution through HR, but at the same time, you want to protect yourself by looking for another job as well. Because sometimes, if the company is toxic, HR is going to side with management, if and only side with you if you have documentation that you're legally being discriminated against. And so you have to be careful. And even if you are being illegally discriminated against, you need to be careful of those minefields, because they could try and retaliate after you get what you need. So you want to look towards that exit, uh, set up an exit strategy just in case, because you need to protect yourself. So, and this goes for friendships and romantic relationships as well. So, since I'm 57, bottom line is that, yeah, this um, podcast is uh, weighted towards older people that have been undiagnosed, because that's my situation. So I hope this can help. So please click and subscribe and recommend. And I hope this helps. Have a great day.